How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks, so we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI, which was up 0.35%. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I was really expecting a lot more out of this play due to the fact the market did show a good amount of strength overall. But you know what? We'll talk about it further in this video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $5.72, being up 0.35%. On the low, it tested $5.72, and then on the high, testing $5.98. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 32.174 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 39.161 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and you can see we were slightly green as well. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 39.34. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 50-day, the 21-day EMA. So it's clear to see that SOFI is in a bear market trading below all of our major moving averages. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention. So we ended up testing a low at $5.72. So going into tomorrow, you want to see this level continue to hold. We already know it can get really murky if SOFI breaks below $5.30. So we saw a high of the day at $5.98. So taking $6 into consideration, I want to see a move going to $6.35, which is where we have the 21-day EMA. If we are able to do this, then you want to look for that move going to the 50-day moving average at $6.68. $7 is a psychological area for this play, so that means we can have a lot of sellers that want to step in, and this is where you need to have the bulls show up to push it up a bit further. If we decide to have that pullback, like I said, you want to see 530 hold. If 530 does not hold, then we can go down to around 506, and if we see weakness in these markets, we can go down even further, testing those 52-week lows right around 482, and even possibly take that out. I was expecting a lot more from SOFI, considering that, the market was actually pretty good. But let's see what it does going into tomorrow. Let's go over the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filing we have here, we already covered the 10th, so let's take a look at the one for the 17th. We have Oliver Lagore Van Villen Investment Group that purchased 15 shares. They really have to disclose that? Like, come on now. Let's take a look at the short interest. The off-exchange short volume ratio is at 21.80%, and then the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 4.32 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 8.2 million, updated 29 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 2.20%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 16th, it is at 47.56, and then for the close of the 17th being at 21.80. So that is a significant decrease right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 18%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflow it's at 24.80 million, and then on the outflow it's at 40.26 million. So we had a strong outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown. On the large, it was 4.98 million. On the medium, it was 11.65 million. And then on the small, it was 8.17 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 17.07 million. On the medium, it was 14.65 million. And then on the small, it was 8.54 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, we had that outflow of negative 12. 32.1 million, and on the 17th we had an outflow of 33.19 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, you can see that we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. And then for the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 3.52%. So this is a consistent range for SOFI. It does see a good amount of volume overall. But as far as for the price action, we were just shy of hitting $6. And aside from that, like I said, the market was strong. We wanted to see a lot more out of the play. Let's go into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details. So for my final thoughts for SOFI when it comes to the price action, so we have the 21-day EMA, which is at $6.35. And taking into consideration the price action that we saw today, it was well below this level. We saw a high at $5.98. So going into tomorrow, if you want to see some strength out of SOFI, we need to get into the $6 range. This is very important. And if we can get a close above that 21-day EMA, that's where it starts looking bullish. And we already know as far as $7 is concerned, it is a psychological area for this play. So what this means, there could be a good amount of selling pressure, but we want the bulls to come in, buy this stock up so it can move up further. Now, if we decide to have a pullback, it still remains the same. We want support to hold up at $5.30. If we break through $5.30, then the next level is around $5.06, and we know that the 52-week low is right around $4.82. So please add that to your homework. You know what it looks like to the downside and as well as for the upside. But overall, we want SOFI to get back into the $6 range, and a close above 7 as far as for this week would be really good. We also can't forget the fact, though, we have Jerome Powell that's going to be speaking twice on Wednesday and as well as for Thursday. So this will bring volatility in the market, so pay attention to those levels, please, especially if you are a trader. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we see a little bit of activity. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that's why if we have buying volume coming into this play, it can make some strong moves to the upside. We also have to take into consideration of the fact that it seems to be consolidating. But if it wants to consolidate, we need to make sure that it's sticking above 530. The moment it drops below 530, you already know what this potentially could look like. But if we can get that move back above 6, that's where things start looking interesting. But of course, I will continue to keep you guys inside of the loop, and let's see if SOFI can give us a better day for this week. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs going into tomorrow. We'll talk soon.